Well, something I actually wanted to ask you about, and you've been kind of a name rolling around the circles at the moment in terms of hip hop news, but obviously there's, the beefs, quote unquote, and then you've got like Joe Budden talking, and everybody's talking about you and Royce and Lupe. How are you feeling at the moment with regards to all of that front?
I'm past it now. I think you know, that was a month ago. And I feel like people are dragging it now. Kind of over it at this point. I think I said what I had to say in terms of that scenario and put it in audio format, and people loved it. And now we're just kind of moving on. I'm, you know, when the parties that are involved decide that they want to respond, and we'll act accordingly. But for right now, I'm just kind of, I'm good right now. I think it is what it is, and God bless. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really it. You know what I'm saying? I can't really speak to it anymore. It's a month old, man. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it just constantly surprised me that like it feels like people are dragging it on to a certain extent. I'm dragging it on by bringing it up, but like it felt like you obviously, and I personally, your track was my favorite out of all the tracks. I think your beat was better, and I think you actually delivered on what you wanted to deliver. Like when you came out, you delivered hard, you sent a message, and obviously then everybody kind of got their up in arms. So I think you should, look back and go, yeah, I did a good job because it was a good track. But I think now people just still just want to see, it's like the drama continues.
Yeah, it's a little disheartening from my standpoint because I was expecting I was expecting like World War III. I I was hoping people would be excited and be like, people that were involved would be like, man, this is what hip hop's about. It's my turn now. And then just have this back and forth thing that just spawns so much inspiration. But that didn't happen. It just kind of it hit hard. It hit very, very hard. And then that's it. And I'm just kind of like, okay. Now I'm just working on. Pardon me. I like to play with my headphone case. Now it's just like, well, okay, well, let me get back to creating music, and I'm focusing on that because the energy and time that I was expecting and hoping for, we just didn't get. I can speak for Lupe as well. We were waiting, and then nothing happened, so we just kind of, it's like, all right, well, let's get back to what we were doing then.
I think we were all expecting Royce to come out with something like just to, because in my mind, he's always been one of those figures in hip hop, and personally one of my favorite figures in hip hop because he does know how to, respond to these types of things, and he is really good on the mic. So I was also surprised that there was no, actual track that came out, and there was obviously a recent one. His brother Kid Vicious came out with a track, but again, like it just didn't have the same kind of impact that you were expecting.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If let's say Royce responds in December, how you as a supporter of hip hop and a fan of hip hop and a fan of Royce, I'm assuming, how would you feel?
I'd say I think December's too late, personally. Like I would love it because I'm a big fan of who he is and the music that he puts out. But 3 months later, it's over. It's no longer relevant anymore. It's like bringing up things that have moved on. So I personally think like when it comes to this sort of music, you need to be fast. Otherwise, people just go, "Oh, you're just doing it for attention again." You're just trying to bring up something that's already moved on. The people that you're beefing with, they've moved on to other things. So, I mean, I'd like it because I like his music, but I wouldn't like it because it's too late and therefore not as relevant as it could be.
I agree. I was hoping for a response. I think a lot of people were. You know, shout out to his brother. His brother did respond, but it not only was it a month later, but it just didn't move me enough to kind of say, okay, I should, you know, go back and forth with this guy. It just wasn't there for me personally. I did think his track was good, but it, you know, everybody's waiting for the big brother, man. You know, everybody's waiting for big bruh. Step outside, B. But it didn't happen. So, you know, it's a little disappointing, but, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I do believe that he will respond at some point, though. I don't know when, and it won't be 3 months. It'll be 6 months. If he responds in December, that's 6 months. And, you know, he'll try to probably use the ether thing because that's what Nas took 6 months. But Nas did respond 2 more times before ether came out. I don't know. I mean, if he responds, cool. If he doesn't respond, cool. I'm fine either way. I think Wraith did what it was supposed to do for hip hop. I think the people who heard it absolutely adored it, and I'm just happy to be on that side of history.
I was just impressed with like it was like a legitimate diss track. Like it was just one of those ones that you love in hip hop where it was just, you know, spitting facts and you knew what was going on. You backed up all your opinions in like actual reasons. It wasn't just, you know, for the clout. Like it was actually a point was made. So that was why I loved it. And, you know, the flow was really good. You changed your flow throughout the track. You kind of did what he likes to do a little bit in there, and the beat was really good. So, you know, apart from, you know, content, if anyone actually wants to listen to like a lesson on how to create a really solid concept driven track, that's one to listen to.
Yeah. I would have to agree. I wanted to create something that would not fly by night. You know, and as you can see, you know, and again, this is not a shot at Kid Vicious, but his song kind of just flew by night. It was like it was here today, it was going tomorrow. Whereas mine, it just kind of it hit hard, and it was poignant. I've been saying poignant all day. Apparently, it was. I got my points across lyrically. Like I think it was a lyrical exhibition on how I felt, and I think that was the most important piece of this whole thing for me. It was, you know, solidifying my stance in hip hop, and I think that track Wraith did that. I believe it did that wholeheartedly.